It seems like it's not just conflicts that's happening right now in Ukraine. Residents, along with people who are in the nearby area, have said that some strange things have been seen in the sky. Reports of these mysterious aircrafts are not new, and what's interesting is that some have made the connection between conflicts in these crafts, saying that whenever humans are at each other's throats there seems to be an increase in sightings. This has led to various theories being put forward by eyewitnesses, with many of them questioning why these crafts appeared during things like military strikes. Residents who saw these objects above Ukraine detailed that they was in the shape of an orb, and hovered above the area for a prolonged period of time before flying off. These crafts were seen on a number of occasions, with viewers asking what they were. Some theorized that they could be things like missiles or flares, but others said that they didn't look or act in the same way. One person said the following: "I'm glad I wasn't the only one who saw these things on the news. I rewatched it and there was definitely something hovering in the sky above Ukraine. Perhaps it's new tech, who knows, but there was definitely a group of glowing objects above Ukraine." End quote. Others suggested they could have been paratroopers, but again they wouldn't stay in the same position. Eyewitnesses will often report impossible to explain phenomena, actions that seem to break our own laws of physics, and otherworldly behaviours of mysterious crafts that seem to defy all reason. Although officials of the world are careful with their comments, in secret documents concerning the safety of national security, it appears that governments from all around the world are scrambling to understand the connection between these crafts and nuclear weapons. For some unknown reason, these mysterious aircrafts have the strange ability to remotely disable nuclear weapons. Though many people would argue that the existence of other life forms is implausible, there are numerous government officials and nuclear guardians at the United States missile silos that would beg to differ, and have worked to challenge the modern understanding of advanced life and their involvement in the United States military. In 1966, nuclear missile officer and nuclear guardian, of whom had worked at an undisclosed United States Air Force nuclear silo, named Robert Salas, claimed that the nuclear missiles stored at these silos, of which were ready to fire, was suddenly shut off by a mysterious flying aircraft hovering over the United States Air Force Base. Mr. Robert Salas is reported as saying the following: "Our missiles began going into what's called a no-go condition or unlaunchable. Essentially they were disabled." Further details of the accounts can be found in an undisclosed report titled Affidavit of Charles Holt, which is filled with not just the witness testimony of Mr. Robert Salas, but with detailed court-sanctioned sworn affidavit, including other witness testimonies from nuclear guardians, politicians, high-position military officers, and research scientists from numerous nuclear missile silos in various locations. As ridiculous as this might seem to most, the accounts were so detailed, and gathered proof of the craft continued throughout the 1960s so extensively, that the now disposed project was a major concern for the United States national security during its heightened claims of these mysterious aircrafts. Now spearheaded by a researcher named Robert Hastings, additional reports of these crafts and nuclear involvement have been surfacing from around the world. Mr. Hastings gave a speech at Washington, D.C. that had broadcasted his findings, and claims across the world that reads as follows: "The witnesses have described these crafts as dish-shaped, or cylindrical shaped or spherical. In 1966, according to a launch officer David Shaw, his missiles were temporarily activated, just as his security guard was reporting a bright object moving from missile to missile." Mr. Robert Hastings' speech was not concerned with the proof of advanced life, nor the political and scientific implications of his findings. His number one concern was surrounding one issue and one issue only: national security. His investigation wasn't originally focused around these crafts, but found this to be the only plausible explanation as he continued in his speech, where he detailed that similar incidents had been uncovered in his investigations in then Soviet Ukraine, where the Soviet Union had stockpiled their nuclear weapons and material during the height of the Cold War. He said the following: "Given the fact that these incidents have gone on over there, including one incident of their missiles being temporarily activated when a mysterious aircraft was hovering above the missile base, identical to what occurred here, I think we can rule out that whoever is piloting these crafts are neither American nor Russian." Interestingly enough, these were not the only cases that researchers have found on claims of strange involvement with nuclear missile bases, as the research provided details of decades of involvement in incidents relative to mysterious aircrafts, and this was at many other nuclear bases as well. During the height of the nuclear testing project within the United States, several mass sighting events were recorded in the states, primarily used for nuclear testing such as Nevada, Arizona and New Mexico, with one incident recorded during the nuclear testing of New Mexico resulting in a mass sighting event known as the Green Fireballs Incident. During the late 1940s and early 1950s, there was a wide range of reports featuring sightings of mysterious aircrafts that were described as appearing to be green fireballs that demonstrated a form of intelligence in their invasive maneuvering. The first known report surrounding a green fireball was made on the 5th of December back in 1948. According to the report, a civilian airplane, alongside a nearby military airplane, both reported what they described as a bright green fireball, passing them by as they were flying over the state of New Mexico. The two pilots were quoted as describing the fireballs as huge green meteors and a green ball of fire, with no physical dimensions or outlines. This first report was dismissed, however, as having a mundane origin, of being nothing more than a meteor burning up in the lower atmosphere, with a possible chemical composition of copper chloride, a compound commonly known for burning bright green under natural conditions. In a weird stroke of coincidence, roughly 3 days following the December 5th incident, reported on the 8th of December of 1948, another encounter with a green fireball was reported by two separate airplane pilots when travelling over New Mexico, with both pilots describing the sighting as displaying intelligent and erratic movements and appearing to contain no physical outlines of any kind. Realising that something far more unnatural was occurring, this second sighting would begin the green fireball's investigation. On the 20th of December, only 12 days following the prior incident, an astronomer working at the University of New Mexico claimed to have spotted several of the green fireballs that had been reported. When observing the unexplainable lights, the astronomer studied their paths and emissions and gathered a significant amount of information before writing to the United States Air Force. The astronomer's letter detailed the sightings of the green fireballs and wrote to the United States military that the lights were not typical of meteorite behaviour and must be a form of intelligent aerial craft. So what do you make of these interesting reports? Be sure to leave your questions and answers in the comment section below, and help us to grow this community while working to solve these unexplained mysteries. Thank you for watching, and don't forget to subscribe for more videos.